I feel like it's so basic level when you're like, oh, you look so pretty today, or I miss you. Like that's so basic. Like you tell that. You say those things to be polite to people, like, oh, you look nice, right? But then if you go, haha, you look ugly, they know obviously that they're not ugly or else you wouldn't be with them.
Yeah.
But that's the deeper type of affection.
It is.
That's the type of stuff that Gio can take, and it's hard for her to understand, which is weird.
So we know how to get underneath their skin, and it's funny, because they think that we're being super serious about stuff. They'll say a couple things, and they know that it's gonna piss us off, but because we understand the pattern, then we're like, okay, so you wanna play that. And then we just start yelling back and we start fighting or whatever. But then it's like, it never really is as severe or as serious as the tone that we're saying it in is. So it's pretty funny.
It's weird because I realized that, you know, like in the beginning of the relationship, like when you very first start, that's how it begins. Like you start joking with them, you're fucking ugly, your fucking tits are lopsided, your fucking pussy looks weird.
Yeah.
You know, you say all this weird shit, and they think it's the funniest fucking thing on earth. But then when you get a little closer to them, all the jokes become personal. And it's dumb because the guy doesn't change, but the girl does.
Yes.
Because everything's it's the same fucking thing. I say the same shit since the first day I got with you.
Yeah.
They want to take it to that next level, and by meaning that is just, they just want to hear it verbatim. I miss you. They just want to hear that shit.
What's weird though, it's like what attracted them towards you doesn't work in phase 2. In phase 1, it's when you're fucking around with them and you talk shit to them, you're like, oh, this guy's different, he's funny, whatever. And then now, once things get serious,
they want you to be thirsty.
They want you to be different, yeah.
Why do they don't want a thirsty guy, but they want you to be thirsty like when you're not thirsty anymore.
But then when you call them out on it though, when you call them out and you're like, hey, I thought you could take a joke. Then they'll be like, oh, I could take a joke, but they can't.
Honestly, I feel like girls cannot. Because I feel like since girls are more in tune with their emotion, they react emotionally first. But then, at least for us, because we're around so many comedians, we've kind of had to learn to just get over it and let go of that emotion. But it's just funny to ruffle their feathers and play on the fact that we are getting emotionally invested in whatever, you know, however they're clowning us or whatever.
They can make fun of you however the fuck they want.
I know what you mean.
Right, they'll come up, she'll fucking, like Meryl come up, she'll slap my tits or whatever. She goes, you got boobs. I'm like, fine, fuck it, you're ugly. I'm like, what the fuck?
I know.
She doesn't have like tears of what making fun of are. So like, for example, for me, I called her a jackass, right? And she goes, oh, you cursed at me. And so she goes, fine, bitch. I'm like, whoa.
0 to 100.
And she goes, cursing is cursing. I was like, no, jackass is here. Bitch is here.
Yeah.
There's two fucking different things.
Yeah.
And she goes, no, curse words are curse words to me. I ain't just being spiteful, dude.
That's like you got into a shoving match and all of a sudden they're bringing out machetes and shit.
Yeah. And she goes, oh, fighting is fighting.
So I'm super vulnerable with Bart, right? Because obviously he's like my life partner. So there are things,
Your boo-boo.
Yeah. So there are things that he knows like really affects me, and because he knows that it affects me, he will purposely make fun of that. And he's like, but you have to get stronger, you have to get over that. And I'm like, bro, but behind the doors, I just told you this really affects me. I've been living with this thing for like, I don't know how many years. Like, can you just give me time to catch up to where you find it funny and then I'll think it's funny?
He doesn't do that only to you, girl. He does that shit to me. When he finds out like intimate personal insecurities of mine, he'll rub it in my face and I'm like, you fucker.
Well, that's like when I'm vlogging, I'm trying to create content. And then sometimes it's just, you're just recording like what's going on. There's nothing like really going on. Like me and Gio, we wake up every single morning, every single day for like the past 8 years, and it's the same shit, so that gets boring. So I have to figure out a way to make that vlog interesting. So I might go up to her mouth and be like, whoa, someone didn't brush their teeth this morning. Like, try to start some shit a little bit, and immediately she's like, she like hides in the blanket.
Takes it serious.
Yeah, but the thing is, this is the part that's sneaky, where I'm thinking she's kind of flirting back and she's like being cutesy, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm playing along, turn the camera off, and I'm like, hey babe, what do you want to eat? Go eat by yourself. I'm like, what? What the fuck? I thought this was like fake, like we're just playing around, but then it wasn't, like someone really took it to the heart.
I know what you mean, dude, because I was vlogging with Jess and I'm all like, oh, you know what? We're like fucking a ghetto dream come true. And she's like, why? Cause I'm like those ghetto Asians and you're like the white trash and we fucking came together and look. And then she's like, oh yeah, and I turned off, and then she's like, you can't say that what? White trash is way worse than ghetto Asian. And I'm like, what?
She missed the whole point.
Yeah.
You're not trying to measure who's out ghettoing each other.
Yeah, it's like a poverty Cinderella story or something.
Or like Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah. But not royalty, it's just fucking broke people.
I think there's like real romance that they don't understand. And then they just hear like the surface shit. So what she heard was white trash.
Yeah.
But the deep meaning was some Shakespearean romance.
I think that's what it is. They say we're not romantic.
But we're too
we're
romantic.
Fucking really romantic.
That's because girls, they don't look at the macro, they look at the micro. So they get stuck up on one thing that they hear, but they don't hear the whole message.
They don't have enough brain cells.
If they're known to just shit talk all the time and they show affection through shit talking, then like I'll take it as like, oh, okay, he loves me. But then like if he shit talks kind of out of nowhere or a little bit more often than usual, then it'd be like, okay, is there something wrong? Did I do something to piss you off? Like, what's going on? It really depends on the person and like how they come off at first, and then from that level you gauge like how they're feeling.
It's all about the patterns and like how you see like your relationship, how it already is, and then if you see any abnormalities in the relationship, that's when you're like, wait, what's going on?
So we have our barbell meeting at my house.
Yeah.
And then so we're all sitting in a circle, and then we have like this new initiative we want to take with the Barbell Brigade channel. And then like me and Sarah, we're gonna go on a gym tour and kind of do collabs with different gyms across the nation or whatever. And then Gio heard it. She goes, "Oh, I want to come too." And I was like, "You gotta get strong first." And I like went right back into the conversation. And she was like, was taken back. Remember that, Brandon? Yeah. She was taken aback by it. And then I'm like, "What?" And then like at first, I think she immediately pinched my nipple. In the middle of like a legit company meeting, she reached over and pinched me. I'm like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And I'm like, "All right, whatever." She just wants to like, I guess, seek revenge, whatever. And then later on, I thought everything was just cool. And then she was like, "Oh, you really hurt my feelings. Did you have to make fun of me like that?" And I'm like, I wasn't really trying to make fun of you, although I knew when I said it, like by the time the words came out of my mouth, I knew it was gonna piss her off. But it was fact, because she hasn't been training seriously for the past 3 months, so she is weak right now. And if you're gonna go out representing gyms, you gotta be strong if you wanna collab with people. And so I didn't get why, by me stating the obvious and something factual, she would get like all hurt and have to pinch my nipple.
Because there's things that he's very sensitive about that I never joke about. And that's just because I feel like that's how I would want it to be treated. Like if I'm revealing something very personal and intimate about myself that's very vulnerable, it's like that's kind of not a joke.
So have you ever tried to personally clown on him?
With stuff that hurts?
Yeah.
No.
Like you would never try it at least? Because like, I mean, he does it to you all the time.
No, because I feel like that's fucked up. Because I feel like he has very few of these things, so I'm like, it's so little, like why would I rub it in his face, or why would I make fun of something like that?
Do you ever get frustrated with him when like he when he jokes about really personal things?
All the time.
So then like maybe he's not aware of that feeling that you're feeling.
Oh yeah, you gotta show him.
I've told him that.
But
He's
like,
very aware. I've said it like, yeah, like shit hurts.
I mean like saying it is different from actually going through it.
Right. So like he doesn't know the pain you feel because you never do that to him.
I know it's childish to like, hey, payback. Like I gotta make you feel the same way that I'm feeling. But it's just like
if talking isn't going anywhere, you gotta show him with action, girl.
How is this about me right now? What about you guys?
I think if it goes to a certain extent, to me, like I do have a limit. And like if that person continues to do it and like the method that you do by saying, hey, you know that really hurts. Like if they're not getting through it, then I'm like, fuck this shit, war is on, I'm gonna totally bring this shit onto you.
Even if it's your significant other.
Yeah, and then when they get butthurt, I was like, oh boo-hoo, I'm sorry, you sad? That's how I feel when you do this shit to me. And they're like, no, and I'm like, please, I'm gonna walk over here.
That's the thing, I don't know the boundary between like what's personal for them and what's not. You know?
Yeah.
Like I don't understand, because in my, like for my thing, it's like, I know you and Gio opened up the gym together. She's not older. No, but I know that you and Gio opened the gym. I didn't think that, in my mind, I wouldn't think that she would have taken that very harsh. Because for her, she doesn't take working out as seriously as you do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she enjoys.
And that's fact.
Yeah, she enjoys the sport. She loves, that's like her form of working out. But I didn't think that you making a comment about her strength would be something that she would be like, well, that fucking offends me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you make fun of fucking, everyone makes fun of, what's his name's Lou's bench.
Yeah.
All the time.
But guys can take it.
Because we know that it's not what it really means.
Yeah.
We know it's true, but it's funny to make fun of the obvious.
Yeah.
Then everyone is like, oh, cool, you could take it.
Because it's not like something where you're like, oh, remember when your mom died? Yeah, like, whoa. You know, it's not one of those like situations. It's the fucking, you know, it's weight training.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, for me, that's kind of how Bart and I started off. It was like super lovey-dovey. Like we would rarely like talk shit to each other, and then as the years progressed, we became more grumpy, and like I guess like the banter just kind of became more of a thing. And things I've always told Bart is like, yeah, go ahead, talk your shit. I'm like, but let's have a balance. Like, for the amount of shit that you talk, like show me that much affection, and then I feel like, cool, then we're balanced. But if you're just talking shit, and then there's like maybe, you know, 3/4 or like a quarter of that is like affection, then for me that feels like we're not in a cool place. Like I feel like now you're just my homeboy and I should just be punching you instead of like giving you hugs and kisses.
I guess I'm lucky that Jessica can take a fucking joke, but I have to be aware of when she's ready for it.
Does she get pimples when she has a period?
No.
Oh.
Maybe.
Because now,
maybe she does. I don't
because
know.
before we try to work, okay, so like when I try to mess around with her, I usually do get backlash, but then if she's on her period, the backlash is even worse.
Mm-hmm.
But yesterday I just discovered some precursor symptoms that I'm like, oh, she doesn't even have to tell me. Because while I was snuggling with her, I saw on her face she had like 3 extra pimples. She probably has it today too. And then I had this urge, I had this urge to just point out, like, oh, you got pimples. But I was like, I gotta control myself. I gotta control myself. But then now that I see it, I'm pretty sure she's probably gonna get a period the next week. So the next week, I just gotta be extra like.
But see,
Isn't it the week before though? The PMS is the week before. That's even crazier.
Because you're lucky, because at least you have signs of the apocalypse coming.
Yeah.
I don't get that. So the weird thing is like this is like an old fight that we had. So I told her when you're on your period or the week before your period, you are a demon. Like you are a freaking demon. So all you have to do.
Yeah, that's PMS week.
All you have to do is admit it. Say, hey, I'm not feeling well this week. PMS is coming, so be careful. Right? So that's all I need. And then I'll be like, okay, I can adjust what I'm doing, and what she's saying to me isn't personal. It's just right now she has the bitch demon inside her. So that's cool. Problem is, when we first started dating, she wouldn't admit it. So she would just, like attribute it to me being an asshole. So she was just like, no, you're just being a fucking asshole. I'm like, no, this is how I normally am. So, and I would ask like, oh, is it because it's a week before your period? She goes, that's not it. You're just being mean. And then she flips out on me, and it turns out she goes, I have my period. I'm like, dude, why couldn't you just tell me, and then we wouldn't have to go through this situation?
I wonder if they're fucking crazy to each other.
No, they're not, because they gripe about us with each other.
So I have an app and it tracks like when I'm supposed to start or whatever, and then it tells you like, hey, in 5 days, get ready for war. That's exactly what it says. Prepare for war. So when that time, like when I read that, then I tell Bart like, hey, guess what's gonna happen? And I try to prep him for it. And then as soon as it happens and I'm like, hey, fucking, I'm in war right now. And he's like, all right, I got it. I'll try not to take anything personally. But I mean, yeah, he still takes it personally.
I have a period app too, but then I don't check it as frequently. But I can tell because like my body feels a little bit more sensitive. I'm like, oh, I think my period's coming.
Yeah.
And then that's it though. Like, there's nothing to it. I don't warn them or anything. I just like, I think my period's coming, but I don't know when.
Yeah, I sometimes let you know, like whenever I feel weird, I'm like, I think that one period that's coming like once every 6 months, I think it's coming like soon. So I try to warn you. No, but even like though, sometimes like we'll get in arguments that are really stupid and things that like I would get like attitude that I shouldn't have had attitude, then I'll sometimes take a step back and I'll be like, oh shit, I fucked up, and I'll apologize and I'll be like, I'm sorry, I was just irritated or whatever. Or sometimes I'll come home and I'll let you know, like, warning, I'm really irritated right now, like just stay away from me right now. So I try.
Have you ever seen it where like me and Jill, like during the takes, I'm like kind of clowning on her a little bit, and I can sense the animosity. So I can see kind of like the tongue-in-cheek or like the kind of like the dirty stares, and I'm like, wait a second, is this really going on during the take? So I would test it, and I would put my hand on her lap to see if she would like hold my hand underneath the table, and she just goes like that. And I'm like, oh shit, this shit's real. So I'm still doing JK News. I'm still going like this, but I'm just like, oh shit, what the fuck going on? So I'm like trying to like caress her leg, and she's like, get that shit out of here. And then later on it'll be like during lunch, I'm like, oh babe, is everything okay? I don't like it when you make fun of me in front of whatever. And I'm like, I didn't even make fun of you. It's just you're Mexican. Like you make fun of yourself.
You know what? I see that all the time. Sometimes I'm sitting here, I'm not even giggling at the article. I'm just watching YouTube and I'm like,
You know what? I've noticed for a long time when you fuck up, you do the leg thing.
Yeah.
And then I see her, she's just like, it's because her face is happy, but her hands are so angry. She's like, and this claw comes out, yeah! I'm like, oh shit, he fucked up.
And I've seen that because I sit right across from you. So I'm like, what's going on over there? And I see your face, like you kind of purse your lips sometimes a little, and you're just like. So I'm like, oh, they're fighting under the table.
But the great thing is that what I say is that you guys are very good at keeping business, and then your relationships are separate. That's what I enjoy, because I've seen every now and then you guys like bicker or like fight like a couple of times, but it's always away from people, and you guys solve it first, and then you don't bring it into the conversation.
Or if it happens here, it's not to the point where it makes everyone feel like,
uncomfortable.
Ooh. I watch it all the time, and it just makes me laugh.
It makes me laugh too.
So two things happen. The first one is he will piss me off, and it sucks that I can't like express my like how irritated I am because we're in the middle of filming. So like I might just like pinch him or just be like, oh you motherfucker, or I just give him like the side eye like ooh. And then like I usually forget about it. So I'll forget about it, but then he'll be like as soon as we wrap whatever, he's like, are you still mad at me? And I definitely am guilty of like prolonging that and kind of like milking the situation, because then like he's so sweet and he's so tender and he's so soft. He's like, oh come on mom, you know I'm just kidding, and he's really cute and I really like that, so I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna keep this shit going. Like right up until the point where he gets kind of pissed because he's like, fuck, I'm trying so fucking hard. And I'm like, alright, fine, I fucking forgive you. Like it's fine.
Just be real with me. That's all I want. So if you're real with me, we can deal with the situation, and I can really figure out if you're hurt or if I'm hurt, whatever, we can move on. But then girls, they don't like to be real. They like to front. So
Like, I'm tough.
So they're always like sour grapes. Like you'll be like you're like, hey babe, is everything okay? Yeah. So for me, I'm like, cool. Oh cool, alright, cool, and I just leave.
Yeah.
And then you can see her eyes immediately open. I'm like, motherfucker. But I'm like, I'm only listening to what you're saying.
Yeah, and so don't lie to me.
Yeah, like if it's not cool, say it's not cool, we'll address it. But for them, I think it's like, I'm not cool, but I don't want to talk about it right now. But you could have just said, I'm not cool. But instead of like, yeah.
Like he's never really tender. Like he never makes me want to just love him, because he's always doing some shit that pisses me off. So when he fucks up is immediately, like you guys will see it now, like as soon as he does something to piss me off, he immediately will, like he'll slap me in the face and then he goes to hug me.
Yeah.
So I like the hugging part, not the slap in the face.
Mariel has this weird rule where she's like, no matter how mad you are at me, I need you to hold my hand. Which I think is fucking bitch! For me, I think that's I fucking hate. Which is weird. She goes, even if you're mad, I need you to hold my hand. I'm like, what the fuck? You just insulted me for a fucking hour. I'm gonna make you feel better? Like I don't like,
what the fuck is up with that? Like they make us hurt, they make us pissed off, but then we have to make them feel good.
Yeah, I don't
after being attacked.
I don't understand that concept till this day. She goes, fine. I'm like, no!
I don't want it to be boring either, where they're like fucking super sappy and like, oh, but you look so beautiful today. I'd be like, shut the fuck up. Like, no one's this way all the time. Like, it's okay to talk. I personally think it's okay to talk shit and to make fun of each other. Like, aha, you fucking look stupid today or whatever. But I'm gonna go back to just, I feel like at least in my relationship, I need a balance of funny shit talking to passion and romance. Like I need to have a balance.
I saw this in The Notebook, and it sounds gay as fuck.
Ain't that one of your favorite movies though?
Before, but so I saw it in The Notebook.
Before I became a man.
Yeah,
shit.
and one of the reasons why we felt like we could get married is because this line is true, and I think the line goes something like, you know you love someone if even when I'm gonna fuck this shit up. It's not even these words. You know you love someone if shit's fucked up, but you still rather be with them than anyone else. Because for me, like with Gio at least, even if I'd rather be fighting with her all day than to still be with anyone else. So ultimately, that tells me I love her, and she loves me.
That's tight.
Yeah. Hey, what's up guys? Thank you for watching that video, and if you're wondering why I have this piece of paper here, it's because I just popped the pimple. So I'm putting this tissue here to absorb the blood.
No way, it's because I punched him for talking all that shit. If you like this video, make sure to like the video. And to check more of these videos out, click right over here. Let's touch tips. Look at that. Fucking, I'm all
What are you
red everywhere.
looking at?
You're just very
Look at
weak.
the scars on my heart.
You don't have a heart.
Yes, I do.
You're a jerk.
I have the biggest heart in the world.
Look how much he's flirting right now. It's crazy.
Why don't you shut up?